morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Good morning. Hi. Get my laptop set up quite right when we were finished last week. So happy Friday. Hope everyone's doing well. Time is flying, and yeah, it's going by really fast. I'm Diane. Thanks for stopping by. And since time is flying so quickly, I'm working on holiday gift card holders. It seems like we always need a quick gift over the holidays at the last minute. And so I don't know if any of you folks ever do this, but I always keep a couple of nondescript gifts handy just in case, box of candy, extra bottle of wine, and some gift cards. So gift cards are great to give, but it's much nicer if you put them in something pretty. So I have 2 gift cards holders that we're going to make today. One is super simple and great as maybe a stocking stuffer, or if you have an office and you're giving your team gift cards, this would be great to mass produce them and have a bunch of them to hand out. They're a little bit smaller. The other one is more if you're sending this in the mail to somebody, or you're going to give them their card as a gift, and your gift card can be inside of it. So with that said, I am going to share, there we go, dimensions. Does that say crumb cake? Oh my goodness, is this the wrong one? Oh no, it says cherry cobbler. Okay, we're good. Yeah, but these instructions can be altered to use whatever colors or whatever paper you have. I'm going to use the Peaceful Deer stamp set today with the Peaceful Prince Designer Series paper that we were able to earn for free during celebration, but I still have some of that. Hopefully you do too. My other card, I'm using Merriest Moments, but I'm also going to use some of the Peaceful Prince paper. And I'm using Cherry Cobbler ink, Evening Evergreen, because I'm going to put some background trees. And I'm using Crumb Cake for my deer, if you want to follow along with those colors. If not, you maybe want to use soft suede for your deer, or another lighter brown. Okay. And let me just mention too that where we have cherry cobbler and your basic white, you can also switch those around. Maybe put your basic white on the background. I can't see my dimensions there. But you could put the basic white as your larger panel, and then because some of the Designer Series paper is so pretty, you might want that to be your focal point rather than having a die cut or a stamp or something as your focal point. So, boy, I don't even have a whole lot of news to share with you. It's been so hectic. Let me get this. Actually, let's pull the camera forward. We finished up our stamp camp last week, which I need to re-record because I guess some of our demonstrations didn't record and are not shareable from my upline. So we were asked to record a video doing those again, which is okay, except I put all my stuff away. I gotta go back and find. Are we okay there? Yeah. All right. I gotta go find everything now. So I have my paper out. I have one cut, but we will start from the very beginning. So here's our first one. This is our little Peaceful Deer gift card holder. And when we open it up, there is our gift card. And I guess I didn't let that one glue quick enough because, yes, I did just finish these before I started my video. And this one I got a little crooked. And was this my first one? This was my first one. So one of us did not follow instructions well the first time around. And so my border on here is so small you can hardly see it. And my triangle is crooked, which it didn't stick real good. So this was my practice. Then I went back and actually followed my own instructions and came up with one that looks a little bit better. And again, just open it up and the gift card fits right in here. So like I said, these are nice to just have, especially if you are going to give them. I think these would be great if I was still working and I still had my team, this would be probably their gift this year. But being retired, I get to make them for other people now. Yay! So the other thing about this card is it's very economical because we can get 3 of those gift card holders out of one 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock. And this is cherry cobbler. Oops, sorry. Knock that camera on one more time, right? And because we're going to get 3 of these, I'm going to do my scoring first. Let me get my other side out. All right. So here's my 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock. And on the 11-inch side, I have enough room. I already knocked all my stamps over like they were bowling pins once. We're going to score this at 3 3/4. This is the score. If you have a scoreboard, you can use that. And 7.5. 3 3/4, 7.5. Okay. Then I'm going to turn this to my short side, and now we will cut our 2 3/4 inch strips. 2 3/4. And I didn't have a problem following my instructions doing this. It was when I was cutting my designer series paper, 2 3/4 again. And I'll get one more 2 3/4 inch strip here with one little strip left over that you can recycle or pitch, whichever. I think I need to change my blade. I'm getting a little bit of fuzzies there. Okay. And so then this is where I started not paying attention to my instructions, and I was not cutting everything properly. A piece of paper stuck in my track. Okay, I need to clean this. So I have some basic white, and I have my Peaceful Prints paper. I had to pull out a new pack because I've pretty much used all of this plaid, which is what we're using for this card. You can use, excuse me, you can use, as I said, maybe I'll make a different one since I already did plaid. I'm doing the snowflakes on the other one. Oh, that's pretty. Let's use this. Oh, I can't. I got cherry cobbler paper. Duh. All right. Whatever. I don't really want to go into the stripes because I don't want to have to worry about directional paper for this. You know what? I'm just going to grab a piece of green because I want to make a green one. And this is Garden Green. Garden Green. I do have some of that. Yeah. Of course we do. Christmas cards. The trick is getting it out without knocking everything off that's sitting in front of it. May as well grab my Garden Green ink while I'm at it. Right. Okay. We'll do those cherry cobbler ones with a different pattern paper later. I would like to do a green one. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. So let me score these again on the short side. Short side. No, on the long side. 3 3/4, 7 1/2. 3 3/4, 7 1/2. Now I can cut them at 2 3/4. Sorry. 2 3/4. And I'll just cut one of them so that we can get started making our card. Oh, look at that. It didn't cut all the way through. See? I do need a new blade. This has been a busy little trimmer, let me tell ya. We did our holiday stamp-a-stack. We did, we went through the stamp camp. I finished my bird journal, pretty birdies, and I will have those. I'm taking my journals with me to the Relay for Life craft fair, so I will have my journals with me. If we get through this, I'll do a quick flip through of my bird journal so you can see what I made. Okay, so the large panel that we want to put onto each of these sections then will be 2 1/2 by 3 1/2. And this is where I was not following my instructions well. Let me close up my arm on here so I can have a little bit of room. 2 1/2. By 3 1/2. And I'm going to double check that before I cut a whole bunch of them and find out that I'm doing this wrong. That is correct. 2 1/2 by 3 1/2. And I'm going to just cut all 3 pieces here because I put a piece of the Designer Series paper on the inside behind my card. You don't have to do that, but because I had them cut, I figured I may as well. Okay. Then we need a little bit of basic white so that we can stamp our greeting. 2 1/4 by 3 1/4. So we're just taking these down 1/4 of an inch from our Designer Series paper. 2 1/4. 3 1/4. I need one for the front to stamp on. I'll need one for my inside to put my message. And then any scrap that you may have to stamp on. Oh, I need that one more time. 2 more times actually. All right, on our panel where we have scored it at 3 3/4 and 7 1/2. Make sure I have this. Okay, 3 3/4, 7 1/2. On our last panel, we are going to cut from our score line, that 7 1/2 inch score line, to the bottom point. So I just have my little score line lined up in the track, and I have the bottom right hand corner of that panel. Make sure we can see that. And I will cut straight down and save this, because if you're doing coordinating cards, maybe you want to add it to a different color of card. And then we need one of these 3 1/2 inch panels. Be careful when you go to cut this. This is also where one of us weren't paying attention to directions. I'm going to fold my triangle over across the center just so that I know I'm cutting my designer series paper from the right direction, because my natural instinct was to put this in the trimmer and cut it from corner to corner. That made my paper backwards. So, because I was looking at it facing front and I was thinking it had to be the same as my triangle, but when you fold this over, it made it backwards. So we're actually going to cut our designer series paper from the top right to the bottom left. And we all know that when I'm doing fun folds and stuff, I can make it difficult, but this doesn't have to be. Okay, so when I did go to lay this on my card, excuse me, it was a little bit larger than the card base. And so all I did was I took this triangle, and can we see the bottom of my trimmer? No, not yet. Let's get these cards out of the way. I'm going to trim a little bit off the bottom, or off of the right hand side. But I want to line this up on the bottom of my trimmer so that I am against a flat edge. I'm still not. I don't have much more room here to slide this up. Let's see. How about now? Can you see me now? I think we can. All right. So I want to do it down here. If I do it up here, I don't have anything to keep my paper straight. So I want to cut on the bottom of my, use the bottom of my trimmer to cut my designer series paper. And I'm just going to start, I don't even know, I guess 1/4 of an inch. I'm going to take 1/4 of an inch off and then hold it back up to my card base, and that's pretty good. I probably could take just a tiny little bit more off. I don't want to make it too short and then having it look funny. And there we go. Much better. Okay, so I'm done with my trimmer for right now. Now, where's my camera at? Okay. So many worries. And my green ink. Now I threw everything off to the side. I don't know where I put everything. There's my other 2 little panels. So one of these will be for the inside, like this. One of these will be for the front, which I didn't fold over yet. Oh, my paper has a little weird spot in it. And I'll just burnish that to make it nice. Well, that's good. It's going to cover up. And then we have our small white panels. Back here, paper. That we're going to do our front greeting and our inside message. So let's stamp a couple things here. Some of this paper out of the way. And I think I'll still put a little deer on the front. I need a piece of white scrap. I'm going to stamp my deer. All right, well, I guess I do have scrap right there. Is he going to fit on this little one? I don't think so. I'm using the deer that has the message in it that says, "Oh, what fun." It is. It's going to just fit. Yay! Remember to give your ink just a second or two to get into the paper. Oh, what fun. I'm going to use my Deer Punch. This is a very small piece of paper, so I'm hoping, I already pinched my hand in this yesterday. That's actually too small, so let me get a sticky note. Yeah, once again, remember she cleaned her table, so now I can't find my little sticky notes. I have to use a big one. And I'm just going to add this onto the corner of my sticky note so that I have a handle, because I can't get that in there all the way. Oh, and that's going to be in the way. Now I can get my little image of the deer, line it up with my punch, put a little pressure on my punch to hold it in place so I can move it around to exactly where I want it. There we go. Whoop, I'm going to cut his leg off. And you have it centered where you want it, and just finish punching your image out. Whoop, hit that camera again. All right. I'm going to put a few trees in the background here. Oh, let's get rid of this. I hope it doesn't blur. But I don't want my deer to be kind of hanging in thin air. So I have the little pine trees from the Peaceful Deer stamps. And we're going to give it a little bit of a background. Stamped off once. I have ink on my block. I don't want to get that all over my card. I already did that on my sample one. So I'm going to stamp off again for this one, and then I'm going to do a full string. My green is really, really juicy. And there are different size trees in this stamp set, so you can, I didn't really want to use the large tree. I like it, but it was just too big for this scene. Okay. While I have the green out, I guess I'll do my inside message. And I like sending love and peace this season. Be careful since this is so juicy, juicy wet. And we'll just stamp that in the center. And then close the ink up so I don't get it all over everything. My other one, I was using Evening Evergreen with it. I like the darker green, but since I'm making a green card, better stick with the right color of green. Now I'll just use a couple of dimensionals and put this little guy on our, I think I'll wait though until I have it all glued down. A mini one for on his head. Whoops, only one. All right, so he's ready. So let's glue our little pieces together. We have our designer series paper. And I'll add this to the front. I like to open it up so that I can see my border going around the card and try to make it as even as possible. Sometimes when I have it folded, it's A little too hard to see the edges. Then I'm going to do my inside as well. Oh, didn't I have a third one of these cut? Oh, I used it for the triangle. I wanted to put, I really do want one for the center section of my card. You don't have to put it there. Let me see. I'll put the triangle down and then we'll see if I really, maybe I don't want it there. I don't know. We'll see. This is going to go here. No, maybe not. Maybe it does look nicer. This is when it's on the inside. Oh, that was my messy one. I probably shouldn't show that one. Huh? Show the one that looks a little better. Let's leave this one just plain cardstock. And I think I'm having a hard time getting my Seal Plus down into the corners of this. I'm just going to use a little liquid glue so that my corners stay down. And as always, that gives me just a little bit of time to adjust it the way I need it. Perfect. And add my inside message. Center it on my pattern paper background. While we're at it, we will just add a little liquid glue to the very bottom of this triangle piece and fold that over. And give it a little squeeze and make sure that it's nice and sealed. We'll add our front basic white stamped panel to our designer paper. Close my glue up. My hands are already sticky enough. And add the deer. I guess I should have put my trees up a little higher, huh? It looks like he's, well, that's okay. He could be Dasher. He's flying in front of them. And then I added a few of our adhesive back snowflakes. Woo. And there you have a cute, quick little gift card. How about it? Quick and easy. And those are so easy. You could, like I said, you can get 3 of those out of one 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock. So it's nice to make a bunch of those up and have them handy. You have some gift cards on hand to use at the last minute, and then you have something cute to hand them in. So just, here, Merry Christmas. Cute, 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 cute. Okay, the other one, and I have some extras that I can make more, which is a good thing because I like to have them handy. Set that aside. Oh, I had notes written on that sticky note. I was thinking, did I punch something out of there? I should have kept, but it's good. It's good. I have to remember to get the address for my prize winner from our stamp camp. Each of us had prizes to give away, and I have my winner's name, but I don't have an address to send it to her in. Not in. send it to her too. I need her address. Okay, so this next card, this is the one I said that if you were maybe going to send this to somebody in the mail, you might not want to just send a little teeny tiny card. So maybe have, a student in college or grandma who lives in California or whatever. So in your Christmas card to her, you want to include your gift card. And this one I finished right when I was starting the camera, so I didn't even stamp my message on the inside yet. So let's make one of these really quick. These also are very fast. So I'm taking half a sheet of cardstock, so 8.5 by 11, cut in half, and then we're going to score it to make our 4 1/4 by 5.5 inch card base. And this looks a little big, but it's not. Okay, look kind of funny. I pulled these out of my cardstock and didn't measure them. Fold this in half, give it a crease. Okay, and we'll need some designer series paper. And I was using, also out of the Peaceful Prints, I used this cute little snowflake paper. And we will cut that to 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. So this is very familiar to you. This is just a normal card front. Okay. Super simple. Now we need a piece of basic white. And our basic white is going to be 3 3/4 inches. 3 3/4, and I'm hoping this is right. Again, did this really quick right before I started my pad slide by 5. By 5. This is not right. I can already tell. Well, maybe it is. I don't know. What am I know what I did. It's 7 3/4 by 5. But when I did this, I had to cut I don't know, let's see where we go with this. So the original instructions, I had written 7 3/4 by 5 to do my inside. And how did I figure I could get 2 of these out of here if I did 5? Well, let's do the long way first. 7 3/4. They're both the same height then by 5. 7 3/4 by 5. And I know I'm going to have to cut some of this off. So I don't know what I didn't write down correctly. And by 5. And I'm cutting 2 of them just so that I have my second piece ready for another card. Okay. Then we're going to turn them and score at 2 1/4. Sure, I have my scoring blade up here. 2 1/4 and 6. Now see, I cut this top part off because how this card was meant to be was let me just show you. It was meant to be like this and not a card, but I changed that and I wanted it to be an inside card. So Now let me, before I cut my flaps off, 2 1/4 and 6. And then I needed a piece of that designer series paper, also matching my front panel, 4 3/4 by 1 1/2. And I thought I had some of this already at 4 3/4, but I guess not. 4 3/4 by 1 1/2. All right. Right. And then I decided to trim this off and make it a full inside for my card. Okay, so that means this is 5 1/2, 5 by 5 1/2. Let me write that down. My basic white is 5 by 5 1/2. And then we scored it at 1 3/4. And I'll put this in the description below. So if you do, see, I had the 1 3/4 right. I just didn't have my inside measurement right. So that if you want to do these, you'll have the measurements as well. Since this is kind of like a little bonus gift card holder. So I'm going to add that 1 1/2 inch panel to that folded piece of basic white. And before I adhere this to the inside of my card, you can use a circular punch. I'm using my little oval, mainly because I don't know where I put my circle punch. And I'm cutting out a piece of a thumb notch there. I didn't get that centered very well, but now I can, you know what, let's do a greeting on this. Well, I need to know how far up I can do my greeting because we only have this top part to stamp in. I thought I had Merry Christmas. There we is. Yeah, there he is. There he is. In Cherry Cobbler. And this is also from the Peaceful Deer. Take these trees off of here so I can see my greeting. And again, I got ink on my block. I don't want to smear. My block's too big for this stamp. That's why I'm getting ink on it. Now I can add this to the inside of our Cherry Cobbler card base. Let's glue the bottoms up first, huh? Use a little liquid glue on each side. Glue those up. Give them a little bit of a stay. Okay. I have my Cherry Cobbler base. And our designer paper for on the front. Use the other side. Just the way it's cut, I think this is the better side. Why are you moving around? Now you stick? Are you kidding me? That was weird. Let's put this on the inside. Oh, it's hanging over the edge a little bit there. See, it's sticking to my hand just fine. Center this in the middle. Now you can decorate it any way you like. I used, because I thought these were really pretty, these are the seasonal label dies. And I just cut out you're my big boss. Piece of cherry cobbler. Oh, sorry, hit you again. You're gonna be black and blue by the time we're done today. And the smaller one out of basic white. And then cherry cobbler I used from Merriest Moments. I used Season's Greetings. Make sure I don't have ink on my block. Yay! Stuck that to the cherry cobbler background. Isn't that a pretty die set? To be honest, I don't have the stamps for it. I just have the dies. I should probably get the stamp set too, but I don't know. We'll see. I like the shape of the dies. I'm going to use a few dimensionals and pop that up on the front of the card. I can pick it up. And just put that in the center. Again, I added a few of the snowflakes just because they're pretty. And I kind of go with the snowflake background. And all I need is a gift card. There you go. So it's another easy, very quick card. And I will put the correct dimensions. Like I said, I did this one right before we went on, so I didn't have them to put on our description for you anyway. Yeah. So lots of gift cards today. I hope that's going to be very useful to you with the upcoming holidays. All right, here, let me show you quickly. This is my birdie journal because it's kind of fun and I want to show it off a little bit. So this is my bird journal that I just finished, and I put a couple little dangly ties when I sewed in the signature. I put some little charms on here, some little birdie charms, and I tied it shut with this cute little fuzzy yarn stuff that feels like feathers because I thought that was sort of appropriate. So it's tied. I have little eyelets in the front and the back so that we can tie the journal shut. In my front pocket, I put a little journaling card and a tag. And then on the peacock feather page, this little flip opens up and has a nice little tag in here for jotting some little notes or a poem or just some thoughts. And I left a page for journaling, and this one as well for some little notes. This page has a little tuck spot with a little birdie card in there. Another page for journaling. This page is an envelope in the back, so it has a journal card that sort of tucks down in here. And then I think, if I'm not mistaken, you can see the birdie. Oh, only part of him. Oh, he was too big, that's right. I tried to get him so I could see his head, but he was just too big and shy. It's a shy bird. And then the next page has a little dangle flippy decoration up here with a couple of little cards for jotting again. This page flips out to have a couple of journal cards tucked inside, another little space for writing notes, and a little butterfly. A little vellum pocket. Actually, if whoever gets this, if they want and have another tag or something, there's also another slot behind here, so they could add a second one if they liked. And add a little bag pocket with a journal card in there. A little tuck spot, plenty of room to write any ideas or draw little pictures and doodles. A couple little more cards in here. Let me see. A little journal card pocket here. Another little tag. Some writing area. The center, which has 2 sheets of paper for journaling. This is actually blueberry dyed paper that I had made. So I put that in one side. And then some, I think this was blueberry as well. Blueberry notebook paper. Another little tag. And the opposite side of my corner pocket with another big journal card. Lots of pages, lots of little tuck spots and cards for writing. This is the back side of the bag. And so in here we have a postcard with a cardinal on it from Kentucky. I tried to find the year on this and I couldn't find a year. So I don't know how old that one is. This is a double pocket on this page. 2 cards in here. Oh, this is my little flip book that I made to put in here. flip it up and there's a little notebook with some little tea cards and some stamps down in the bottom pocket. Folds back up and tucks down in a little die and fits back in the pocket. That's probably one of my favorite pages. Just another tag, a little fuzzy. The back side of the envelope just has a card in there for journaling. This journal card, I think, was my second favorite. I don't know why, I just liked it. One more little tag with a tiny tag tuck spot down here. Nice big journaling area. And inside the back panel is a flip out page. So lots of, oh, I was going to put another, oh, that's right. A lot of journaling spaces. I was going to say I was going to put another card in here, but I was not. This is all for writing. And that's tucked into the back. So this one took a long time. I had a lot of little pieces of, it has a little feather, and these are not real bird feathers that are in here. So no worries on that, because I think oh no, I took it out. I was going to put a little bird feather by one of these guys, and it was just being too hard to glue in here, so I changed my mind. Yeah. But they're not real bird feathers. So there we have it. That is my little bird journal. Well, actually, it's kind of a chunky bird journal. So if you're interested in journaling and you want to see any of these, I will have them at the Magic Tree in Boardman next Saturday. And then I will have them at the Christmas Marketplace at Grace Chapel Church on Small Business Saturday. So, and so there we have it. Next up, I'm going to work on some small little mini Christmas journals that I can take to the Christmas Marketplace at Grace Chapel. And Monday, I think we're going to do more Christmas cards because it is getting to be that time. It's going to be here before we know it. So thanks for joining me. Everybody have a wonderful weekend. We're supposed to get some severe storms here this afternoon, but then I think by the weekend it's supposed to start clearing up a little bit and cooler temperatures. So I think fall is on its way. There are enough leaves out there that it looks like it. Oh my goodness, but they're pretty. They're really pretty. So have a wonderful weekend, everyone. Thanks for being here. Bye.